Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to talk about something I don't normally talk about, and that's TV shows. I don't normally talk about TV shows because I normally want to focus on movies. That's what my channel is for. That's kind of how I got started. I did talk about before, I have talked about The Offer, which is the miniseries about um, what do you call it, the making of The Godfather and stuff like that. It pertains to movies, so I feel like it was relevant to the channel. So I did talk about that earlier on last year, or the year before. But yeah, I figured some content to put out there. I figured I'd talk about Will and Grace. If you guys don't know Will and Grace, it's a TV show that started back in the 90s. It follows um, a uh, a gay man and his female friend. She's going through a bad breakup, and they decide to move in with each other. And over the course of the first season, they go through many, friend fights and relationships and all kinds of kind of funny, wacky hijinks. And you have a supporting cast of individuals who are kind of crazy and annoying, and it's an entertaining show if you're not familiar with it. And it stars Eric McCormick and Deborah Messing. They play Will and Grace. And Will, he is a gay lawyer in New York, and Grace is a interior designer type person, does interior work and stuff like that, and they're friends. They've been friends for a long time, and basically the beginning of the show, it talks about her going through a going getting almost getting married, and her leaving her fiance essentially at the altar, and moving in with Will, who's one of her friends. Been friends for a long time, and they kind of navigate their relationship. He's a gay man, and she's a woman, and they kind of, even though they're friends, they were live with each other, and they kind of go through the motions of what that's like. And you also have another one of his friends, Will's friends, his friend Jack, who's played by Sean Hayes, and then you have Grace's um, assistant, played by Karen. And Karen and Jack are basically, the other members of this friend group. And I will say, if Will is kind of the straight man, so to speak, he's more plays it kind of. He doesn't play into the stereotypes of what a gay character is, and Jack is kind of more flamboyant in that sense. And then you have Karen, who's like the assistant of Grace, but she doesn't nothing an assistant would do. Basically, she's like this rich aristocrat who basically has a job but does nothing at that job, and just there as a friend to the lead, and just somebody for there to talk to. And I really dug this show. I dug this first season. Like I said, it starts off kind of in a weird spot, because you see our main character pretty much at her lowest. And so early on early in the show, she like gets different apartments, and moves in with Will, and they go through all these different emotions. They go through all these different issues, and learning what it's like to live with each other. And they always, because they get into fights, but they always something always happens where they're like kind of fighting, but then obviously they always make up in the end. The show went on for I think 11 seasons. I can't remember exactly, but it went on for a while. So this show goes on fairly long. You get Also, you get appearances by Debbie Reynolds, who is Grace's mom. She shows up in the middle of the series, the middle of the season, and Will and her, Grace and her, kind of have a back and forth. They kind of don't get along, and so that's their dynamic. But basically, the whole plot is these people going about their lives, and it's a fun, interesting show. It's a comedy show. It does get serious every now and then, but it is a comedy first and foremost. And I find it, even though some of the jokes are funny because some of them are still relevant to today. And it's funny how smart it is, and it's like how of the time, like this very 90s, like I think a lot of the jokes and stuff they make couldn't be done today. So it's very of the time, but still relevant to today. So I think I appreciated that. But yeah, the first season, it ends off. I guess if you haven't seen it, spoiler warning. But if you haven't seen it, the end of the season ends off. The character Jack, he is he's gay, and Karen, she has a cleaning lady who is on the verge of being kicked out of the country because she is not officially a citizen, or she was applied for it, but it's been in the country for so long that it's kind of expired. So she's on the verge of always getting kicked out of the country, which is weirdly it's kind of relevant until now, for many reasons. But she's on the verge of getting kicked out of the country, and so Jack is going to marry this woman, or this cleaning lady. And while Will and Grace are at the wedding, they go after. They have a conversation, and building up to this episode, they've been, like I said, living with each other and going through different issues and whatnot, and it's kind of built up to this crescendo of basically they live with each other for I guess for a year or so. I'm not sure how long time passes in the season, but they let time pass. Time passes, and they've been together for a while. But then ultimately they decide to, at the end of the season, she moves. She says, "I'm gonna get her own apartment," and so she gets her own apartment in the second season, which I've started. But I guess we'll talk about that in another episode when I finish this season. But the season ends off pretty good. It's kind of on a downer note, but like I said, it's a comedy. It's funny. There's entertaining stuff throughout, and there's different actors and funny situations that goes on through it. So I'd say it's worth the watch. If you haven't seen an episode of the show, they did a revival of it back in like the mid 2010s, mid 2010s, and so I haven't got to those episodes yet. So I'm trying to go season by season. So this is the first season. I recommend watching the first season. I really dug it. I think it's a funny show, entertaining. So it's like if you like Friends, if you like Seinfeld, if you like those types of shows, I think you'll like it. So with that being said, what do you guys think of the Will and Grace? Do you like it? Have you seen the seasons? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. And yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.